Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Ferny Live. I am Fernando, your resident psychic medium and spiritual teacher, and I am here to help you guys and answer some of your questions. So if you are new to my Ferny Lives, you can post your questions in the comment section below. Make sure that they are specific because general questions I will not even answer too general. So be specific about your questions. If you want to ask about your life, your finances, career. I mean, if you want to ask about love, all of those things you can ask about them. Just again, be specific and post them in the comment section below. If you want to ask about your loved ones in spirit, or if there's anybody specifically that you want to connect with, just post it as well, and I'll see if I can get a message for you. Now, I won't be able to get to all of your questions, but I will try to answer as many of them as I can. So please be patient and also understand that. So some of you are coming in now. Hello. Got Cece. Cece, hi Cece, welcome, welcome. Julie, hey Julie, welcome. Vera's here. Brenda's here. The other Brenda's here. Hey baby, big love. Hi beautiful. All right, so I've got quite a few of you coming in here. So a few of you walking in. How do you see February going for me? Patty, you got to be more specific. I don't know what you're asking about. Okay, so let's see. Who do I want to? Whose question do I want to answer first? I hope you guys are having a great Friday. By the way, I am having a great Friday. I just finished working, so I'm tired, but we're doing this right, and then after this, I've got to do a few e-readings and get that out of the way, and then I can like relax for the rest of the night. So, but I'm hoping to get this done first because the sun is going down, and I don't want to lose light so that you guys can see me. So, hopefully, you guys are having a good Friday. So let's see. Jordan has a question here. Do you see anything in my love life happening soon? If you mean by like anybody coming into the picture or any new opportunities coming up for you, I actually see three different dating potentials or dating opportunities that may come up before summertime. I'm not really feeling that like any significance to any of those options. I just think that these would be opportunities for you to get to know people, connect, talk, etc. When it comes to like significant opportunities for like love, as far as like seriousness, relationship, long term, etc., that may not happen this year. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that may not happen this year. If anything, that may not happen until September of next year, 2020, because I'm feeling a lot of like bonding, connection, energy next year. Around that time, I'm seeing like a sense of commitment, a sense of reassurance, a sense of like, cool, I know this is solid. I'm not worried about it. So I'm feeling that next year in September. This year, not so much. So I feel this year might be just a year where you're still kind of experiencing relationships, experiencing connections, but not one actually getting off to the next level or going off to the next level. So just do enjoy yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't take it too seriously. I know sometimes people don't realize that they put too much pressure on themselves or on the other person that they're dating because they have to be everything that they need them to be so that they can be done with it. Just enjoy your experiences. Don't really like give yourself such a hard time about it. Okay. Jackie has a question. Hi, friend. My husband and I just split. Will I find love again? I wouldn't be surprised if you actually find yourself involved with somebody within the next 2 or 3 months. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had already met somebody or were talking to somebody before you and your husband split. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have that opportunity to reconnect in the next 2 or 3 months. So just be aware of that. It's funny because Jordan's going to be like, what's that all about? Like, I'm over here, like, fishing for trout, and she got too many fish in her pot. Sorry, that's what I'm seeing. So, but Jackie, I do see you having an opportunity within the next 2 or 3 months. Okay. April has a question. April. Hi, Ferny. My grandmother Beatrice passed a year ago. She was my best friend. Does she have any messages for me? Yeah. So she's first of all, she's acknowledging a picture where I don't know if you were doing your first communion or you were doing a ceremony or some sort of like a ritual or ceremony or religious ceremony or something like that. But I feel like she's acknowledging a picture where you were younger doing this, and she may have been with you in the picture or talking about being proud of you. So she's acknowledging that as being significant for her. Also, feathers are going to be a symbol from her, so you might find feathers on the ground because that's another way for her to let you know that she's around you. Another thing that she's picking up on, that she's acknowledging, is she's doing this. So either there's a pair of earrings that you have that may have belonged to her, or she's acknowledging the pair that she may have bought you, but she's doing this as well. She says you worry too much, and she says um, sometimes you, sometimes you're too strong, or you come on too strong sometimes, and people don't always realize that. So sometimes you got to kind of loosen up a little bit, or not be as, I won't say aggressive, but come on too strong, because I feel like she's trying to get you to like be a little bit more open or be a little bit more receptive to other people, because that way it doesn't come across like so harsh to them. Because sometimes you may not know what you say to people and it comes across in the wrong way, so your grandmother's kind of telling you to like pull back a little bit, but she's acknowledging that as well. Feathers are a symbol from her. Remember I said that because she's acknowledging feathers. Okay. um Cece has a question. Am I going to get a great paying job soon? I'm not seeing any major changes with your job situation right now. I do think that there will be an opportunity to make a switch around August of this year, August. However, the problem is that I don't really think that the pay is drastically different from what you're getting paid now. However, the thing that may trigger you to do this is the fact that there's potential for you to move up or to grow in that other position so that you can see a pay increase. So I'm thinking that the reason why you make the change is because there's just more opportunity for a pay increase, or for you to be able to earn more money in a shorter period of time. So I think that's what causes you to make the change. But it comes up around July or August of this year. Okay. Um, Vera, does my mom have a message for me? Yes. I don't know if you have an old blanket or quilt that belonged to your mother, but I keep seeing like blanket or quilt, or the, you know what this reminds me of is whenever like people show me like they make like quilts or patches or blankets, she's showing me something like this. So there's a reference to this that she's trying to acknowledge for you. So there may be a blanket or an old covering that she's referencing. She also keeps acknowledging that either you smelt her or you saw her next to your couch, or on when you were at the couch, because she's acknowledging that as well. So either you were sitting down at the couch watching TV, or you were, there next, and there was some, either you saw her or you sensed her next to you. But she's referencing that as well. She also keeps acknowledging the symbol for baby. So there's a baby in spirit with her that either was hers or was yours that she's wanting to make reference to as well, because she's acknowledging having the baby with her. Now, normally whenever I see baby, I think that it's either a child that was miscarried, lost, or terminated. So it might actually be a child that did get a chance to live a full life, or a child that has passed since. But there's a reference to that, so she wants to let you know that, okay? Amber has a question. Any messages from my dad passed in 1992? I keep seeing the Boots Gooden Boogie. I'm hearing that. So I don't know if he knew how to dance to the Boots Gooden Boogie, or if there's a video of him dancing to this, or if he ever liked to wear boots, because I'm seeing like Boots Gooden Boogie, I'm seeing Western wear, I'm seeing all of that. So I'm not sure why he's showing me this, but I'm seeing that. I also am getting there's a repeat in the name because I'm seeing two names. So there's a reference to two names being the same. So either he shares his name with someone, or there's a similar name to someone else in the family as well. He also mentioned the name David. So I don't know if you know of a David that's connected to dad, or if there's a connection to dad and David, but he's referencing the name either David or Davy, but there's a reference to that as well. He also is doing this. So I don't know if your dad was in the military or he was in the Navy or the Marines, but he's doing this. So there's an acknowledgement to that as well. So there may be a reference to that. There's actually three males in spirit with your dad. So there's him, and then there's two other males. So there's three males total. So he's referencing these other males with him and being with these other males. So you actually got quite a few people in spirit that he's wanting to acknowledge or reference, make reference to. Okay. Brenda's like, Hey, you mentioned I will get a new job soon. Do you still see that? Yes. I feel like this might happen within the next month or two. So I don't think this is going to be that long or that far from now. I feel like that's actually pretty soon. So it's just a matter of a waiting game for you at this point. But the next month or two, I see you getting another job or a new job. Okay. It might even be a promotion or a new position, but it's something like this. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm pregnant. Anything for my mom, Rosalinda Arregui. I'll say Rosalind. I'm just going to keep it with Rosalinda because I'm having trouble when I'm butchering that last name. Argelin. She's actually doing this, the number two. So I don't know if this is the second baby or this is your second attempt, but she's doing the number two. So she's referencing that or acknowledging that. She also keeps acknowledging that got it. She says she's not having any more trouble breathing. So I don't know if she was having difficulty breathing towards the end of her life or she couldn't catch her breath or take a deep breath, but she's acknowledging being able to breathe as well. She also sends you birds, specifically like weird colored birds. So this would be like either cardinals or yellow birds because she's referencing that as well. She also keeps thanking you for the flowers. So either you took some flowers recently to her to let her know about the news, but she's acknowledging you taking the flowers to her and then talking to her. So she's acknowledging that as well. But she knows, so she's wanting to let you know that. But again, she was talking about that too. So either this is the second one, or this is the second try, or this is there's two. So just be aware of that. Okay. Let's see. By the way, guys, if you want to share feedback, because sometimes when I tell people stuff, other people want to know if that was actually like if they understand what I was talking about. If you guys want to like express your feedback or share your feedback, I'm happy to receive it. Just post it in the comment section below as well. If what I told you, if you understood or if it makes sense, or if you needed some clarity on that. Okay. Taking some classes right now. Do you think I should continue, Raquel? Raquel, hello from Houston. I am taking some classes right now. Do you think I should continue? I don't. Well, I think you should do whatever you want to do. But do I see you continuing? No. I think you're actually going to stop in another month or two, and then you're going to end up going back anyways. So I would just tell you to stick with it because you're going to end up having to go back anyways to complete all of them. What I see you doing is I see you stopping in a month or two, just because it's going to get overwhelming for you, and then you take a break and then you try back again in the fall time. Okay. Uh, Bathory has a question. Hi, Ferny. Husband and I started talking to a lender to start the process to buy a house. Is this individual the best fit for us, and in what time frame do you see us being able to purchase our home? I don't feel bad about the lender. I feel like the lender's okay. I think you might be able to get a lower APR though, or a lower interest rate. So what I would suggest is reach out to another lender and try with another lender to see if you can bring that APR down, because I feel like you can do better than that. I don't think it's the lowest that you can get it. So I don't want you guys to go in and then end up paying way more than you need to be paying. Being able to purchase the home. I would say that you end up purchasing the home probably. I'm not seeing you doing this until June or July. So I'm thinking by summertime is probably when you do this, even though you might already get approval. It's good to have that approval, but I don't think this will happen until June or July. Okay. Juany has a question. Hi, Ferny. Hi, Ferny. How are you doing? What? Hope you're doing well. I cannot read today. God, guys. Do you see me receiving my inheritance soon? I think you're probably about 3 months away from signing off on like a last set of documents or last set of forms that will basically allow for some movement here, but you may not actually see this until September or October of this year. So it might not be till the later part of the year that you see any kind of money. Okay. Um, Julie Salinas. Hey, Julie. I interviewed for a job a couple of weeks ago. What is the likelihood we'll get it? Today is also an anniversary of my husband, Seth Patrick, any messages. Yeah. Job wise, I feel like you definitely are a competitor with this, but I almost get a sense that they're going to end up going with someone internally, or they may actually try to move somebody internally into that position. There may still be a position available, but it may not be what you were actually initially thinking or wanting. So just be aware of that in case they come back with like an option for a position that you were like, that's not what I applied for. So just be aware of that. Also, messages from your husband. It's interesting because your husband's name has come up a few times today in different readings because I kept hearing Patrick today a few times. Here's what I will say. Your husband is actually acknowledging what's interesting. He's making fun of his hands, so it's almost like he's weird. He's like he's doing this, or he's trying to make this weird like playing with his hands. So I don't know if you have a video of him where he's trying to be silly and trying to dance and he's doing this, or if there's some sort of like a visual of him doing that because he's doing that. He also keeps acknowledging that he's the one, either he was knocking on the window or he made some sort of a weird sound coming from your glass or window, because he's acknowledging trying to get your attention or let you know he was around you. He also he's laughing about the bedding. So I don't know if you recently changed your bedding or you bought a new bedding set, but he's referencing and acknowledging and laughing about that. So he's just making you aware of that. I think this is his way of trying to let you know he's around you. But yeah, it's this weird like video, like he's trying to do this weird like doing this. I don't know what he's doing, and it's like a weird visual of him doing that. So he's acknowledging that. Jackie has a question. Jackie, hi Ferny, any messages for my grandma? Her husband of 50 years passed. So he's actually acknowledging 2 children. So I don't know if they have 2 children or there's 2 children with him, because he's referencing the 2 with him. That's the answer. He's referencing the 2 with him. So he's acknowledging 2 being with him. He also keeps pointing to his chest or his heart. So he's acknowledging that there were some issues here or some problems happening in this area as well. He also says that he heard what they said. So either he was out of it for a while, or he was unconscious or in a coma, but he's acknowledging hearing what was said or hearing the last right. So he's referencing that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, what is this? I think it's December. He keeps acknowledging the month of December as well. So either December, there's a special connection to that month, or the date of the 12th is somehow connected to you guys. So there's a reference to that as well. His mouth doesn't hurt anymore. So he's like making the symbol for his mouth, like my mouth doesn't hurt anymore. So I don't know if he was having trouble using his mouth or being able to eat properly, but he just says, my mouth doesn't hurt anymore. So he's acknowledging that. But he's with you guys, and what he will send her, he says he's tried to show up in a dream, so he's tried to say hello in that way, but also he sends birds as well. Birds are like, everybody's got birds today. He's referencing birds as well with her. So he's acknowledging the bird singing for her, or a bird cantando, like the bird, El pajarito cantando o pajarito. No, there's a song. He's referencing a song about a bird, singing bird. Something cantando, pajarito cantando. There's something there that he's referencing. So he's acknowledging something like that. And I want to say it might be a song that he's trying to talk about or reference for her. Okay, so you might need to ask her if there's a song about a singing bird or the bird singing that they like together or that they had together. Okay. Peggy, any message for my stepson? Yeah, so what's interesting is when he comes through, he's taking responsibility for his own passing. Typically, whenever somebody takes responsibility for their own passing, it means they put themselves in harm's way, or they may have contributed to their own passing, or it could have been a suicide. Now, I don't know if it was a suicide or not, but that's usually what that means when they say, I'm responsible for my own passing. So he's making reference to that or acknowledging that, like either he put himself in harm's way or he takes responsibility for the situation that caused his passing. So he's bringing that up or referencing that. He also keeps acknowledging this. So he's acknowledging people either having a drink to him or referencing something about a toast, because he's doing this as well. He also keeps acknowledging a ring. So either there's a class ring or an insignia ring or some sort of a ring that might be connected or might be related to him. He also keeps showing me a picture of him either with a baseball cap or with a cap on that would be significant. So either this is a picture that's posted of him, or someone has posted this recently because he's referencing this picture as well. He's also the one that tripped the alarm or tripped the doorbell or tripped the fire alarm, because he's talking about tripping an alarm. So he's acknowledging something about tripping an alarm, or someone like either they thought they turned off the alarm and it was still on. He's making some weird reference to that as well. So he's acknowledging, like just trying to let you guys know that he's around you and that he's been trying to keep an eye on you guys or just keep up with what's going on. But again, he was taking some responsibility for his own passing. So there's something there that he's trying to relay in regards to that, okay? Elizabeth, she says, you said I would be pregnant in February, and I am. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad I was right. I hope that, let's see. Rebecca, I like the picture of Rebecca. I just lost my brother and I want to know if he's around me, if there's anything he needs to tell me. So what's interesting about your brother is hilarious. I think he's really funny, but not in a like a obvious way. I almost feel like he kind of has these faces that he makes, and I almost feel like he's always looking like he's trying to kiss somebody. So either there's pictures of him always trying to kiss somebody, or always trying to stick his tongue out, like and he's trying to like lick somebody's ear, lick somebody's face. So these faces that he keeps making or he keeps acknowledging. He also keeps showing me a cross. So I don't know if he has a necklace of a cross or he has a cross necklace that would be significant for him as well. He also keeps acknowledging a tattoo. So either there's a tattoo for him or there's going to be a tattoo for him, but he's talking about three. So either three people are going to be acknowledging him through a tattoo or they're going to get the same tattoo, but he's referencing three. So he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps acknowledging his shoes. So I don't know if he has a shoe collection or he likes to collect shoes, but he's referencing the shoes. So that's another thing to be aware of. He says he should have been paying attention and he wasn't paying attention. So I don't know if there was a circumstance or a situation that came up where he should have been paying attention and he wasn't. And because of this kind of went this way, but he says he should have been paying attention. He should have been paying attention. He also keeps acknowledging, he keeps showing me a vehicle or a car. So either there's a white vehicle or a white car that might mean something to him, or there's a picture of him next to a white vehicle or a white car. But he's acknowledging this as well, okay? But he's with you guys, and he's okay. So he just wants you to know that. Rosie's like, will I go back to work? I think that you will go back to work by May. So I do think you will go back to work by May, but it may be short-lived because then once you go back to work, then within the year you may decide it's not for you. So I do see you going back to work, but then I see you within the year deciding that maybe it's not going to work out for you. Hey, Latoya. Hi, Fernie. Got an opportunity in Austin for big money, but I'll do a weekly commute. Will I enjoy this? I think you'll love it, and I actually think you'll end up moving there. So I honestly think that you're going to end up moving there altogether, and you may not actually be doing that commute because it may just be easier for you. And also, I kind of feel like you need a change of scenery, anyways. So it may work out for you in that way, even though maybe family may be the reason why you go back. But I just feel like it's just going to be better for you altogether. So it's not a bad thing at all, is what I'm feeling. Um, happy Friday. Hey, happy Friday to you too. We recently got engaged. Congratulations. But are having trouble finding a venue. Do you see anything that may help us with finding a venue? Thank you. Yeah, I actually see, I think it's going to take you a couple of months, but I do see you finding a venue, not this month, February, but March. I think you'll find a venue. For some reason, it feels like an outdoor venue, so it might be some sort of a country club, or some sort of like gardens that belongs to a country club, because it feels like there's a club or there's some sort of a meeting place, and then there's the outdoor space that's behind it or that's next to it. So it feels like something like that. I actually think that someone you guys know will have an idea of asking or using this space. And I think one of you will probably get that connection through Facebook. So if you post on Facebook, like we're looking for a venue, or you post, I feel like that's the way that the connection is made for you to be able to get this venue. But I think you'll find something in the next month, okay? Mary's like, hello, I've asked for my job change, title change this week. Will it come with a raise? I feel it will come with a raise, but it may also come with some conditions about the timing of it, meaning that like either you might only get like somewhat of a raise, but then there's like almost like a time period where you would have to complete such credentials or whatever, and then it would go on to the next. It would go over to the next like stage as far as getting another raise. So it may actually be two raises, but the first one seems pretty insignificant, and it may feel like it's kind of a slap in the face. But if you bear with it, because I feel like after 3 or 4 months, you might actually see a much bigger raise. So it just depends, because I feel like the approval that they get is limited in that way. Okay, let me close this blinds because these blinds are getting on my damn nerves. Let's see. Okay, good, good, excellent. All right. Um, do you see anyone around me? Do you see anyone around me? My husband as grandpa keeps coming around the family. It's possible it's his grandpa. I actually see a man who he's doing this, so either he served in the military or there's a military tie to him, but also he's showing me guns. So either he had a gun collection or someone has his guns because he's referencing that as well. He also keeps showing me an image of him either at a mechanic shop or next to a mechanic shop or working in a mechanic shop because there's a reference to working on machinery or mechanics or something like that. So there's a reference to that as well. So just FYI, but it could be the grandfather, but that's what I'm getting whenever I connect with the grandfather energy. So Pam, Fernie, do you see my mom with me? Your mom is pointing to the sky or the stars. So there is either a picture that you guys posted that has like the clouds, and there's a reference to her being the angel in heaven or being in heaven, or there's a reference to her being in the clouds or in the sky or stars and talking about like to the moon and back. But she's referencing something like this that means that's connected to her. So there's a reference to that as well. Also, she says, what's interesting is she's showing me a candle, but it feels like a scented candle. So you guys might light a scented candle for her, or it's the smell that she would have loved. But she's referencing that as well. Okay. Lisa, hey, beautiful. What's going on with the glass incidents we have been experiencing? Lots of broken glass. XO, Lisa and Deborah. Yeah, so I kind of feel like either someone. I'm assuming you're asking about this happening like at the jailhouse. For those of you who don't know, Lisa is and Deborah. They run the the hell is that jail's name? They run a jailhouse, an old jailhouse that was used back in the day in Texas, and so you can actually go and take tours there and take pictures there and all that other stuff. And it's haunted. It totally is haunted because I totally felt stuff when I was there. And I actually did a video with my friend Ingrid where we went there at night and we took a video and we went and there's videos of us being shot there. So you guys should check it out. But to answer your question, Lisa, I feel like someone is going into the jail or someone may be going in there that they don't like. And they're almost like blowing their top or like making it a point to say, I want this person out. So it's almost like someone having a tantrum. So I actually think it's someone going in there that's causing the ruckus that those there do not want there. So just FYI. So you might need to maybe look and see who's getting in there, who's visiting that shouldn't be visiting the jailhouse or whose energy is off. Okay. Sydney has a question. Beautiful picture, Sydney girl. I'm going to try to say your last name. Sydney Coylin. Is Quaylin or Quaylin or Quaylin or Quaylin? Is it Quaylin? Maybe it's Quaylin. Okay. Will I have children soon? I think that there'll be an opportunity for children around April, and then there'll be another opportunity for children in February of next year. So I actually think you have two opportunities coming up for children. If whatever happens in April turns out to be like a false positive or something like that, don't worry. There's still the opportunity that comes up next year in February of next year. It might take you a few tries, by the way, just FYI, because you might be having some challenges with your reproductive system, or there may be some issues in the ovaries that need to be addressed because of the hormones. Okay. Christina, seeing anything on health or love life for me? Yeah, so what's interesting is I'm seeing skin, and I, for some reason, feel like there's some sort of a weird reaction with your skin, or you might start to experience some like dryness or crackiness. It's weird with the skin, and it might not be all your skin, it might just be in spots. You probably have an allergy, and you're not even realizing that what you're putting on your skin, and it might be like a cream or a lotion or something that your body's suddenly starting to reject. So just be aware of any kind of irritation or inflammation in the skin, because it might be happening due to some sort of use of like a cream or a lotion or something like that. And it might be a lotion. You know how sometimes you go and you buy your perfume and it comes with like a lotion kit or whatever. It might be something like that that's got an additive to it that your skin is not liking. Okay. Kayla. Hey, Kayla. Hi, Ferny. Will I find a new job soon? Also, when do you see baby number two coming? I think baby number two, September feels like a really strong period for you. So this September, something may be going on at the time. Either there's a pregnancy, a baby shower, or a baby popping up in September. So September feels important. And you said, when will I find, will I find a new job soon? No, I think we're in February, March, maybe late March is when you might find something that works for you. There may actually be two jobs that come up. One may come up this month and then one comes up next month. But I'm thinking late March is when you'll find something else. Okay. Guys, by the way, if you haven't had a chance to check my podcast out, check out my podcast. I've already done like 4 episodes. And I love it. I love doing it because it allows me to like connect with you guys and share and talk and be myself like 100% completely unfiltered. Because sometimes I don't allow myself those luxuries whenever I'm doing one of these or whenever I'm doing a video. So check out my podcast. You can get there through my website. I'm also now available on iTunes, Apple iTunes, on Spotify, and also Google Podcasts. So you can check me out there. Just type in my name and I will be like the only person that shows up when you type my name in. But check out my podcast and give it a thumbs up or give me a review if you enjoyed and you want more of them. Also, I do have a free class if you're interested in developing your own psychic abilities, and it's free. Again, I'm not asking you for anything. I just want you to take the damn class. So it's on YouTube. You can get there through my website, or you can just go to YouTube and type in Fernanda Marone. I have my own page, my own YouTube channel, and there's a section called Psychic Development, and you can take the entire course. It's 2.5 hours. You can take it at your leisure, and you can learn all about psychic ability, about different phenomena that occur whenever you're trying to develop your own psychic skills. Okay, so check that out as well. Also, if you're interested in having a session with me, you can go to my website right here, fernandamarone.com, and you can book a session with me. I offer different sessions at different package prices. And actually, they're quite affordable prices. Some people are like, $35 is a lot of money. No, it's not. Like if you go to a psychic on the street, she's going to charge you about $60 for 2 questions. So that's actually pretty reasonable if you ask me. But there's different types of sessions. So go to my website and you can get all the information there. If you can't afford it, then just sign up here on Facebook and like and share this video feed, but also like and share my page, because whenever I do these, you'll be notified, and that way you can get a chance to ask me your question. And I won't be able to answer all of your questions, like I said earlier, but I'll at least try to answer as many of you guys as I can, in case you can't afford to purchase a session with me. Okay, so I'm going to answer a few more questions, guys, and then I am going to crash. Jenny has a question. Hi, Ferny. Should I go ahead and buy stock in a senior citizen dating app as a future user of it? So I already feel like there are established apps, or there's already. Here's the thing. I feel like some of these companies that already have like Christian Mingle or like Match.com, I feel like they're already developing their own versions of these kinds of apps. So what I would say is, if this app is going to go live, or if you're going to, if this app is already established, then great. I think it's got a head start, but it's going to be a lot of competition in the near future. Buy it when it's low, but I would not expect to invest long term, meaning that if you invest in this stock, I would expect to invest within 2 or 3 years and then pull it out. Because if you try to invest long term, then you might find your money going up and then all of a sudden going down, because there's either a saturation of the market, and you might find yourself where either this organization or this app doesn't really push as far as you would have expected. So I think investing isn't a bad idea, but don't expect it to go longer than like 2 or 3 years, because I feel like after that things change, and then you might find yourself seeing a downturn with your profit instead of earning the money that you would have thought you would have earned. So just be careful, okay? I don't think it's a bad idea though. It's actually, it doesn't feel bad to me in that way. Laurel Lopez, hey love, do you see anything for me? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to see? Do you want me to see like romance? Do you want me to see your career? What do you want me to see? You have to remember, you got to be specific, or my brain is gonna like explode and go everywhere. And it's like, hey Fernie, do you see me staying at the school I am working at now next year? Thanks. I think not. I think you'll actually. I would be surprised when you say next year. Are you talking about like 2020? Or are you talking about like this year, like in August, the next school year? Because I'm only seeing you there for 6 more months and then you're gone. So when you talk about like next year, 2020, I'm not seeing you there next year, but I'm also not seeing you there in August. So I think you might actually be changing schools this year. Okay. Deborah's like, hi Fernie, hi Deborah. Ah, see, she asked, she got specific. Thank you, girl. Okay, is there a baby or a job for me? That's like that's like, is there a baby or a job for me? That's like two different things, girl. Okay, here's what I will say. As far as baby is concerned, I don't see a baby right now. I'm actually not seeing a baby for a while. So I think that if you're going to have a baby, or there's going to be a baby for you, you might be 2 years off from this. What I would suggest is if you're trying and you're not succeeding, you might need to go and get your hormones checked. Your hormones may be slightly off, but also there may be some scar tissue in the inside of your uterus that has been affected by a prior like situation. So just FYI. And the job for you, I'm not seeing a job for you till June. So you might not see a new job or changing your job until June of this year. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go with one more question here, and then we're going to call it a wrap. Um, Maria. Fernie, hi, hun. How do you see my makeup artist business going? Will it be successful? Keep shining. I actually think it's going to go pretty well. I see you forming relationships with local events, meaning like if there's like a pageant, or there's like certain events happening at like schools, or people are throwing venue, like I can see you doing a lot of local venues or events of that nature, and forming relationships where it's going to be through word of mouth that you are able to grow your business or your name or your brand. Now I will say you probably need to spend more money on promoting yourself on a more like on a more online level, because I don't think you're doing enough promoting of yourself. Just putting your name out there or putting a website up is not enough. People are not going to visit you or come to you unless they know you exist. And the only way they know you exist is if they hear your name or they see something that relates to you, and then they'll go looking for you. But you need to do more online advertising, because I think that can help you tremendously. But I do see you doing a lot more business with local, like I said, events, venues, etc. This year it may start off slow, but I think around August or September, you may see a revving up of business, and you may actually see a lot more business there than you expected. So be aware of that. And I do seem like more weddings, etc., that you might be doing at that time as well. Okay, so not bad. All right, guys, I love you. I will see you next week. Again, if you want to have a session with me, go to my website, www.fernandamorone.com. Please like and share this page if you did get a reading as a thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you next week, okay? Bye-bye.